Hi, welcome back. All right, today, and by now, what I hope you've realized, if you're actually going through the whole series, you're looking at all the videos, you realize that it's really a deep dive. Each of these exercises has a lot of information that come with it. Who could, who should, who shouldn't, what you want to think about, whether or not you have some kind of injury or prior injury, or you don't want to get injured. There's just so much to unpack, and so many exercises even within a single exercise, so that you can vary the kind of exercise that you do, or the single exercise. You could vary it, do something different and unique with it every time you work out. That actually is going to give you the best results. So today we're going to talk about rotation. Now, if you notice, we really haven't done any rotation yet. And here's the trick. So if you have osteoporosis or osteopenia, generally there are, literally right now, to date, no scientifically contraindicated exercises for osteopenia and osteoporosis. However, if you have an existing fracture, you already know you have a known fracture, you are much more prone to another fracture. If you've been told that you are extremely frail, or that a medication or condition you have or have been taking has made you extremely frail, this one potentially is not for you. I would make sure that rotational exercises you do are under the supervision of a medical exercise specialist or a physical therapist that you're working with. Because here's the thing, you do rotate every day. Getting out of bed is the first time you rotate. So immediately, and you're pulling your own body weight while you do it. We need a little practice doing it safely, no matter who you are or what your condition. So that's you. My warning to you is, let's double check. Make sure you're working with somebody one-on-one to know an exercise is appropriate for you. All right, so that said, there are a lot of ways that you can do rotation, and a lot of ways that are more potentially injurious than others. And I'm going to show you right off the bat one of those exercises that is a little bit more injurious. I'm just going to get a little closer. And that would be this one. So we're sitting back, we come into a V-sit, and then we do some rotational work right here. And the reason is, I'm already back, I'm holding in this position, I'm not forward flexing back and forth, but I'm already asking my core to stabilize, and then I'm rotating with it. For some of you, you have a tailbone that actually doesn't have as much of an S curve and tucks under, and this is an uncomfortable position. So if that's true, this is just not your exercise. I'm not going to show you this one because it's got a little bit more risk for certain people and not as much reward. So we're just going to throw it out. What I am going to show you is this one coming down. We'll do another rotational exercise later, but this one is just dropping knees to the side. And we're going to keep the knees together as we come down, and we're going to keep a short lever. Here would be a long lever. We're going to keep it in here, and this is the beginner. Palms are up and arms stay down. These are bracing you. So we want from your hands to your elbows, your shoulders, all the way across your lower back down. I'm going to lower the legs to the ground, and if you feel or you get to a point where this is feeling like I'm too far, what you want to do is put a couple stacks of pillows here and find where's your range of motion. You feel like I can do that comfortably, but I don't want to go lower because my range of motion, my mobility right now is not very good. That's great. Gradually, chances are you will get stronger if you're practicing this. For you, if you can come all the way down, what we do want to do is come down either to your pillows here, or you're coming all the way to the floor. But again, you want to check over here. Are you able to keep this shoulder blade down? So as my legs are to the left, my right shoulder blade would love to come up right now. So I have to work to press it back down. And you want the rotation in the spine. It's what we're trying to get. So these obliques on the side are working. Now coming back up, if we do one leg and the other leg, one at a time, kind of a step-step process, it's a lot easier on the lower back. However, if you are able to, you can keep the arms and the shoulder blades down, and you can come back up and talk through that. Did you notice I didn't effort, right, when I was talking? Then you're okay to go there, but test first. So other side, watch my shoulder blade over here and keep me honest. So as I get down right about there, I really feel there's a significant stretch that happens. And that's the beauty of doing certain exercises. While we're strengthening, we're also inevitably going to get, if we go through full range of motion, we're going to get some kind of a stretch. So you can test and come back up with one at a time, and you can then try it and see how easy was that. And you'll have a gut feeling, can I try that with both, and come up and over. So switching to the sides, dropping it down and bringing it up, and then opposite side. And none of these exercises that we're doing in this entire series, every day, all month, require dozens, certainly not hundreds. So what you're really looking for is 5 or 10 of each kind, move on, and then switch. And the flies are going crazy out here. Bring it up, and then drop the knees down to the other side. Now, if you feel like you have to accelerate, you lose control, potentially you want to bring those pillows in. So let me show you what that would look like. You're coming down and you don't have control. You can't put the brakes on. It's just falling. That means you're not quite in control. We want to slow it down. We don't want you just to get there. We want you to be using the muscle to do the work. Put the pillows there where you're in control, and then gradually that strength that you've got in the range of motion will expand. So about 5. Over and back is 1, over and back is 2, and so on. Good. And then you want to do just a little drawing some circles around your lower back. Do 3 to 5, and then reverse directions and rotate. It's also nice just to put your feet down and let your legs flop to the side and to the other side. You'll feel a little stretch through the lower back as it crosses the hip. Or what you'll do is feel the stretch where you need it most. And that's the beauty of a stretch. So although I can tell you where I feel it, I can tell you better possibilities for you and where you'll feel it. Where we all feel it is where we need it most, okay? All right, so that's your rotation. Now, if I wanted to make that a little bit more difficult, as opposed to keeping the legs in, I'm gonna lengthen them out. So if I would go all the way out, that's gonna be really challenging. Now, typically, I don't even do that, even though I've been doing core, teaching core for decades. I play it safe. So I want the rotational work. I don't need rotational strain. So it's always about, are we training the muscles? Are we just waking them up? So we've got good range of motion, we've got great control, or are we starting to strain, say the lower back in this case? So again, shoulder blades down. And if I were in a position where I'm dropping the legs or going to a longer lever and this shoulder then comes off the ground, probably not my business to be doing this one. And opposite side, and come up. Now, you're gonna see some very creative things if you're going to a gym or you're scrolling YouTube, right? So someone would probably ask, should I put a weight in those feet? So like I said, as soon as you lengthen the lever, we've already got more torque on the lower back. If you put a weight between those feet, even more so. So I would say that's a definite no, all right? Not ankle weights, not a weight you're holding between your feet, just play it safe. Lengthen if you feel like you can go with a long lever, and that's probably about as much stress as you need to. The longer that lever, the more leverage and stress on this point of rotation. Okay, there you have it. So that is your really weight coming down. I'm going to show you mobility. So another one that is rotation, arms out to the side, really same kind of theory, but what I'm going to have you do here is take your foot, bring it up, and you're headed in the direction of your foot. Now, you're kind of moving blindly, and I'm really blinded by the sun right now, but you're reaching for this hand. You're not necessarily trying to touch it, but you are getting range of motion. You're getting an opening through the front of your hip, which I love because we've got tight hip flexors, almost all of us. And then rotate other side. Bring it back and down and relax. Good. And the benefit of doing that is now you've balanced. So we've done it from the front. We turn back over. We get a little bit of back extension as we're doing that rotation. And those two exercises I love for almost anybody. The one where you're face down, we call this in a prone position. What I want you to think about is keep it small, but almost everyone should be doing something like this, because activities of daily living, we're forced to do activity like that. So we always want to practice for life. Give ourselves a little resistance and challenge when we're safe. So it's not when we're shoveling or we're lifting something heavy in and out of the car, when we're most likely to strain because we're only doing that once in a while. We set ourselves up for success by practicing those moves under control and gradually, only gradually applying a little bit more resistance so we're ready. All right, give me some comments below. Let me know how you do with that one. Let me know if you have any restrictions. You may notice you've got some tension in your hips because it's very related to your lower back. Try to isolate, where is it that I actually feel the tension where I needed to stop? And don't forget the pillows on either side of you, just in case you need them. You might want to get them down on the floor with you before you even start. And I'll see you on the flip side.